like the game itself, cricket equipment has certainly developed over the years. From pads made of bamboo, from gloves with no palms and dragon backs to the equipment you can see in front of you today. But something that hasn't changed all that much over the years has been the cricket bat.
No, you're right, Tom. I think tradition is coming back into the cricket bat. The old traditional spine. We've seen scoops and sort of different divots out the back of the bat so that the manufacturers can maintain a light weight but not decrease the size of the edges. But they seem to be going now. It's all just the traditional normal bat. And this is the part you want to use, mate. That is what we call the middle of the bat, where it is the sweetest, the most amount of wood for the batsman to use. Batsmen tend to be going a little lighter again these days, down to probably £2.6 for a senior bat to £2.10. But for you as juniors, make sure you select a bat that you can pick up and swing very comfortably. You do not want to have a bat that is too heavy for you. And in retail outlets now, there are such a big range of bats for all kids.
It's certainly important for the young fellas, or the young ladies as well, is to find something that is the right size and the right weight for you. Also very important with the pads. Here we have a full size set of pads which are made for a person like myself, going on simply like that. Very comfortable and very light these days, and as I mentioned, no more bamboo in the middle. For our younger viewers, very important, like a cricket bat, to get something that is the right size. As you can see, this knee guard corresponds to where my knee is. For a young viewer, this pad is way too big for you. Get something that's going to be light and comfortable that fits your leg so that the knee guard corresponds to your knee. Important for safety, and also important when you're running between wickets, because if your pads are too big, it'll slow you down.
Oh, there's nothing worse than getting hit just under the knee. That is the most painful area to get hit. Make sure that knee protection is there. Some extra protection too in the batting glove. This is a right-hander's batting glove because the thumb stall is on the right thumb, and that is the thumb that is exposed to the ball that's coming at you when you're batting. Extra protection on the two first fingers, first and second finger, because that is the bottom finger. That's the most susceptible area of your hand that gets hit time and time again. So the manufacturers have put extra protection in lots and lots of pairs of batting gloves. But once again, nice and light, good leather, grippy surface in the palms, and very high quality product.
Talking about protection, make sure you've got one of those, a box. Once again, one that's comfortable for you. The helmet is also a vitally important piece of equipment these days. With the helmet, important to get something that's obviously the right cup size for your head, and they do come in different sizes. This one's actually a medium. You can see on the side here lots of different holes, adjustable holes, so you can move this grill firstly forward and back, and also adjust this gap between the visor and the grill to get better vision. But what you don't want to do is make sure that gap never gets too wide to allow a ball to go through. This one is pretty good. You certainly don't want that ball passing through there.
The helmets are nice and lightweight, that's for sure these days, and very good protection, as we've seen time and time again. Wicket-keeping gloves, I suppose the wicket-keepers in the junior teams need to know what to look for. Nice and supple these days. You can almost pull them out of the packet once you get them and start using them, but generally 1 or 2 weeks of practice before they're right to go. The webbing that is in between thumb and forefinger, that shouldn't be used for catching. That is only there to help you protect your thumb getting bent backwards this way, and every now and then you might pick up a half volley in that webbing, but it isn't to be used for catching. You can see also in the last few years that these fingers have become much more flexible as well, and they actually operate like your hand does. In your hand, your little finger goes to your thumb quite readily. In the past, wicket-keeping gloves have just bent one-dimensionally. Now the thumb and the little finger do work together much more like the palm of your hand. These are now very good quality.
Well, the other piece of essential protective gear is the thigh guard. Over here, thigh guard, well, it's not, I suppose, absolutely essential, but I'd suggest it for most players.
Well, I was probably about 12 or 13 when I first got my thigh guard, but they weren't around as much as they are now. It's become so accessible, the cricket gear, so it's worthwhile having. Again, lightweight, not too bulky, goes on the front thigh of the batsman. So for me as a right-hander facing you as the bowler, it's on my front thigh. and every now and then you can get a nasty one in the nets, and there are now inside thigh guards which go on the other thigh. Just here, if you happen to square up a little bit and you miss the ball and it goes into that inside thigh, this is the thing for you. It'll connect to the strap of your thigh guard and just go on the inside thigh for that fleshy, bruisey part of the leg. It's never nice when you get one there, but that's a non-essential thing. Again, nice and lightweight and good protection to go with your arm guard, I suppose.
Yeah, the arm guard, once again, a non-essential piece of equipment, although I think for our bowlers in particular, I think it's a good idea to have one of these. Goes on the forearm which is most likely to get hit. So for me, that's my right forearm, being a left-handed batsman. So I will have the arm guard here. As I mentioned, pretty good for the bowlers to have one of these, particularly when you may have to bat late in the innings and you may be needed to bowl straight away. If you get a whack on the forearm with a ball, particularly a brand new ball, before you have to bowl, you may not be able to bowl late in the day. So not a bad idea for all of our young kids, and particularly our bowlers, to have one of these.
Don't let us scare you though. We've got extra protection on a bowler's bowling fingers if there's a right-hander. Don't go out there expecting to get hit though. It's not healthy for you. So now we've got nice, lightweight, very protective equipment that should assist your performance rather than hinder it. Make sure it is protecting you, make sure it is comfortable, and make sure it's exactly what you need.